right, so we're gonna start from a headquarters position. I'm gonna start here just because I think it's like a fairly consistent position that anyone should be able to get to. From here, a lot of my passing is gonna revolve around giving my partner a half butterfly. And this is largely due to the fact that I have a lot of comfort when my partner looks to attack my legs. So how I'm gonna look to make the transition from here, I'm gonna drop my inside knee to the mat and basically pummel my foot out to get to this kind of half butterfly position where I force my partner here. The reason I pummel my foot out instead of keeping my foot in the middle is because I want control over my partner's bottom leg, otherwise known as their heist leg. The idea with this is if I have my foot in the middle, this is great because my leg's safe. However, there is an option for him to then plant this foot to the mat and possibly look to off balance and move me as well as himself. So what I'm gonna do instead is pull my foot to the outside and scoop up his bottom leg. From here, notice that by forcing him to frame on me, he compromises his knee to elbow connection. So from here, if he weren't to move, I would be able to then step over. However, your partner's live and he's resisting, he doesn't want to get past. So what's likely to happen if I don't have this hand here is that he's just going to bring his knee to his chest and I'm not going to be able to pass, and worst case scenario, he's able to enter my leg and move me. So what we're going to do, by placing our right elbow to the inside of our partner's knee, we just need to momentarily be able to stop him from bringing knee to chest, and then from here we're able to step over and time that. Right, and from here, this is a really strong position for us to play from, and we just want to make sure we solidify them out. A reaction that we're likely to get that can be very problematic is that our partner just focuses on keeping their knee to chest. So he's not even going to frame, but he's just hugging his own knee to his chest. In a situation where they don't frame, ideally we can get chest to chest. So just keep everything tight. From here, we can just get chest to chest. But if they're a very good training partner, what they're going to do is really hug their knee to their chest. So even when I do get chest to chest, there's always a knee inside. So this is going to be very problematic for me. So what I'm going to look to do, this is a sign for me to pivot instead of persisting, where I'm going to look to pummel my hand in between the quad and rib. And from here, I almost want to drop my shoulder. Notice here, I want to drop my shoulder as I lift my hips. What this is going to do is it's going to limit my partner's ability to extend his butterfly hook. If from here I realize he's retracted and I want to just cut an angle, he can extend if I don't pressure him. And from here, it's going to make it very difficult for me to then get the angle. However, by pressuring in, I'm dropping my shoulder below my partner's knee, driving my head down, hips up. Now when he tries to extend to keep me attached to him, it's actually very difficult. And from here, we can start looking to take side steps, or in my case, I prefer doing a back step to then cut an angle to flank my partner. And this is now a really great situation for me, especially because we had this leg trap. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna end up actually being on the outside of my partner's knee, like this. So this gives us a lot of options with where can we chain to. From here, if we'd like, we can go towards leg drags. If he manages to face me, from here we just do our flank passing. From the flank, there's so many things we can consider. From here, knee cuts are great options, toreandos are great. However, my main goal from here is to actually, instead of focusing on the pass, focusing on maintaining this passing position. So this is very much demonstrating this idea of camping that I'm sure many of you guys heard, but it's basically looking to maintain an advantage over time for the purpose of fatiguing my partner. So notice in this position, he doesn't have a guard. So if I can just focus on staying here and making it hard for him to get back to a guard, this is going to be very strong for me. So he fights out, he tries pushing me away and such. This is really tough for him. Very common ways your partner is going to look to retain is through a high leg, right, where he pummels like a lasso type movement. What I really like to do when I encounter this, usually I try to prevent it and I try to keep it out. But if my partner does manage to get this in, what I'm then going to look to do, dropping him onto this near side hip, I'm basically going to look to go back and feed him into a half butterfly. And from here, we're doing the same thing where we're going foot to foot, trapping his heist leg. And from here, we can reset back into the same thing. So notice how we're in the same position, but now on the opposite side. And from here, if we encounter the same reaction, right, we want to basically leg trap, cut an angle, and we reset. So you can kind of see how we're going to interplay between these two types of passes, depending on the reaction my partner is giving. I think this is one of the most important things in regards to passing is understanding when to persist and when to switch. Because if you just keep trying to do the same thing over and over and your partner is defending, this is probably a recipe for not doing anything.